class we were discussing the filter synthesis. Right? And this is called the singly terminated network. Driven by a current source and the load being a normalized value equal to 1 ohm, we can raise the level any manner you want by the formulas which I gave you last class. And the intention of using lossless network is that we don't want any power to be wasted in the filter itself. Filter only should change the frequency response requirements according to what we want. And we said that if as long as I can design this filter as a low pass filter, 1 ohm, 1 radian per second, I can scale it up any manner I want to higher frequency, higher impedance level and type of filter we want by appropriate transformations. So here we said that we found that real part of Zin is equal to Z12 square, which is equal to V2 by I1 mod square. And so in our case, in this particular case, the transfer function we are looking for is Hg omega magnitude square is equal to V2 by I1 square. This has to be a low pass filter with the 1 omega is equal to 1 and impedance level equal to 1 ohm. That's why we put 1 ohm here. So this must be a low pass filter with a cutoff frequency equal to 1. And so this is the transfer function which is the Hg omega square for this particular requirement, and that we found out is equal to real part of Zin, and Zin is equal to the impedance measured at this port. And we found a method how to get from Zin or Hg omega mod square to Zs, right? The method we said was Hg omega square, you expand it in terms of substitute Hg omega square, S square is equal to minus omega square, you get a function of S, and then it will have some poles, some number, equal number on the real on the right hand plane and the equal number on the left top plane. So you find out the residues of this, right? So you get some residue here and so on and so forth. And then you pull out those poles which are on the left top plane, add this function, because we know that this must be equal to according to us real part of Zin j omega, substituting S is equal to j omega. So this is nothing but Zs plus Z minus S half. Are you with me? I am going a bit fast. So now this will have, because it is a realizable function, this must have poles on the left half plane and Z minus S must have poles in the right half plane, correspondingly mirror images. So this must correspond to this and this will correspond to this. Okay. So once I know this, then I can double it up value that give me Z of S. So from here I uniquely find what is Z of S. And this method is what we said as the Bode's method. There is another method which is, as I said, assume that that has to be ratio of two polar animals, find out the real part of that as equal to j omega and equate the coefficients of both the functions to find out what is the coefficient corresponding numerator and denominator. There is another method called Gabor's method. Whichever method you want to find out, what all I am saying is that you will be able to extract z as out of the magnitude square function uniquely. So now the next question is, given a z of s, what is the network? Which will have this z of s. Right? This is synthesis problem. The first attempt in this direction, credit goes to Brunet. We won't go into that Brunet synthesis and all that. Brunet was the first person who has given a unique method of synthesizing a driving point impedance in terms of a passive network containing resistors, inductors and capacitors. The method is not so much as a practical method of synthesizing z of s, but a proof that given a z of s, I can uniquely find out what is the network, a synthesis method. It can be done and proved it by doing it. And then there is improvement on that by Barton-Dauphin, which also was not a very popular one, because the number of elements were so large in that network is too low. So people did not go through. The first meaningful technique of synthesizing given z of s in terms of network like this is, credit goes to Darlington. He was the first person who has given a beautiful method of synthesizing the network given z of s uniquely by lossless network terminated in 1 ohm. The method is quite simple. If you now look at it, it's quite easy to see. But he was the first person to have done it. But unfortunately, Darlington method gives a requirement of ideal transformers in this. You require ideal transformers in addition to resistors, inductors and capacitors. You need transformers having an ideal, you know what ideal transformer is. We read in 101 that there should be no inductors, capacitors, nothing of that. The transformation ratio equal to 1:n. Voltages are in the ratio of 1:1:n, currents are in the ratio of inverse value. That is the ideal element. No practical transformer comes anywhere near that. So such elements are required to be used in synthesizing the Darlington method. So the problem now reduces to where do I get this ideal transformers? So although there is a proof that it can be done, when the actual practical implication of this in terms of realizing it in laboratory comes, this is a problem case. Some amount of tricks you can play to convert this ideal transformer into a realistic transformer under certain conditions, but generally it is not always possible. So although the method is a beautiful method, the Darlington method is not a very practical method. And then there is another person by name Miyata, who is a Japanese, and now I don't know, but during the days of 60s and 70s, Japanese, because they are all patriotic or whatever it is, they only publish in Japanese. They never publish in English. So they publish in Japanese journals in Japanese language, and very few people know what was published in the Japanese journals. And apparently Professor Gilliman, who was at MIT and who considered to be father of network theory, his student was a Japanese, and he came across a Japanese paper and went to Gilliman and said, look, there's a Japanese paper and did something in this synthesis. So immediately Professor Gilliman was so excited, he said, translate it and give it to me. So he translated. And it's such a beautiful method. It became the most popular method now in synthesis of driving point impedance is the Miyatas method, which is a very neat, realizable method. So all the filters are now based on the Miyatas method, and I'll tell you what that is.